Hello and welcome to Affinity. We're going to take this picture, have a look at it, and then use some very simple techniques to add strength and power to it. So first of all, we start off by looking at it and saying, what exactly do we see? Well, we've got a picture here of a face, a woman here, and there's a dark background and there's light on the face. The light's coming in from this direction, so it's darker on that side. And if I zoom into it, where is the real power in this picture? And the power is in the eyes. Look how clear and powerful that eye is. That's really strong. So that's where we're going to put our focus. So to start off, we're going to use In Painting tool here to just sort of tidy up a little bit here. What we particularly want to do is remove distractions which are going to carry the eye, and that in particular is higher contrast areas. So we'll zoom in a bit to this and just go to these here and just click on them, and the In Painting is very good at taking those out, and make it small if you need to on some points. And working out where these are to just look at something that's going to, is this going to draw the eye? And that's the key thing. We don't want to do that because we want the eye to go to that lovely eye there. Okay, that's okay. So the next thing we want to do is to add light to it. And what we're going to do is bring out the Chiaroscuro method. Chiaroscuro. It's, you can tell I don't speak Italian. It's a method used by the Renaissance artist, particularly well known was Caravaggio, and although he was strictly Baroque, I believe. And which is basically, chiaroscuro means dark and light, or light and dark. And we're going to make light and dark in this picture. And we're going to do this starting off with curves. And when you pull curves up here, it's of course going to get lighter. Where you pull it up changes the shape of the curve a bit, particularly if say I pull it up here, notice if I go too far, it starts to hit the top there. And that means you're going to get burn in here, where it's going to go solid white. And I don't want that. But if I come down, I can't lighten it up the top end so much. But if I move over here, I can get that up a bit higher. So when it's without burning the face there. And that's quite nice. And to make it even stronger, and then go to the blend mode and change that to screen. It may look rather exceedingly bright here, but don't worry about that because we can always come back to this later. But we're going to put that there. And then what I'm going to do is hit Control I to invert it and then paint back just the areas that I want. So I'm going to go to the paintbrush. Change the opacity here. I'm going to turn that all the way up. Normally you could use a lower opacity to do a bit at a time, but in this case I think it's okay to go straight for the whole thing. Again, you can always go back and change it. And so it's a very soft brush. And when you've got a soft brush, you've got a gradient. So you see from the center of the brush, it's fading across there. So you could use a gradient blur and so on with it, but with a soft brush you get the same effect. In fact, I'm going to start off, make sure the eye is fully visible there, brightened up. I'm going to go up here and actually make this a bit larger here because I want to get a little bit of light onto the hair there, so it adds a little bit of shine, and a bit down here. So we got that area, and maybe a little bit less sort of in here. No, I don't think that's quite right. Here I will turn the opacity down a bit, just to put a little bit into that. There we go. Then I'm going to hit curves again and go the other way. So now curves here, and they're going to do this side of the face. I'm going to pull it down to make that darker, and I go to the blend mode, and the opposite of screen is multiply, so it makes that really dark. Maybe I'm going to pull this up a little bit here, And again, it looks rather odd here, and the reason is I'm only looking at this side of the face. I'm just worried about that because that's where I'm going to put that darkness. So hit Control-I to invert it and then paint back over here. So again, a paintbrush here, it's gone black, so I need to paint in white. And I'm just going to go up here and use the softness of the brush to paint darkness down here, just with blobs. I think that's okay. I want to keep that with the eye in there. So in fact I can, if the white of the eye is going a little bit grey there, I can change to black to bring this back. So I'm going to make this a lot smaller here and bring the opacity down here more. Just add a little bit. Go back out again to check it because it's very easy for that to get kind of like too white and it looks weird. But okay, there we go. That's our chiaroscuro effect with this. You've got the very light here and the very dark here. But the eyes both still come through, but this one is clearly the most powerful one. So the next question now is cropping. And cropping will change this picture quite significantly. So let's look at the crops we can do. And just got to have a think about what's going to happen when people look at this. So the first one, we're going to just put this up here and apply that there. And this again is a very valid picture. You've got the eye right up here, so you're coming here. And this is partly because when we read pictures, we often tend to go from left to right and also top to bottom. So this brings us in here and it naturally follows that effect. Because when you've got long pictures here, the eye goes from here. Where's it going to go to? It can't go up there because it stops on the edge. So it's got to go down this way. So that's one possibility. Let's undo that. Another one, of course, is the rule of thirds. So I'll just go here and it's nearly on the thirds there. So it's not bad in terms of where to go with that. So we'll just put that on the thirds there and apply that. And again, that it all balances out, the rest is just fine. So there you got the rule of thirds one, which is nice. I'm going to undo that and try something else. Another thing that the Renaissance artists knew was that if you put the eye on the center line, that had a particular power. So I'm going to put this eye in the middle. So I'm going to bring this across here and put this eye on this line from here down through there. And I'm also going to bring the top down a little bit and bring this up here. So I'm going to get a double effect on this. I'm going to put the eye at the center of the picture. So it's right in the middle there. And what this does is, because your eye immediately goes to the eye here, the question is which direction do you go next? And the picture is giving you no clue, because when it was in the corner, it went left or downwards and so on. But here, there's an equal amount of space above and below, and left and right. So it's a little bit, what do I do about this? This, by the way, if you see a white line down here, don't worry about it, because if I zoom in here, look, the line has disappeared. It's just the way the thing is being rendered. And last one I'm going to do is going to crop here. I'm going to make this a square. Up here, see it says, 2902 by 45. So I'm going to make it about 2900. But watch this number here as I do this. So go down here to 2900. There you go, that's close enough. And then I can move this up and I'm going to put the eye dead center. And this is an even more powerful position, because in a square format, when you've got a portrait, your eye is going to go up and down. If you've got landscapes, it's going to go left and right. Now there is not even any clue as to which direction. So this eye is going to hold you even more powerfully. And it works with the edges here and the mouth just coming in there. So the face is bigger in the screen as well. So it's a lot more strength. Anyway, that's it. And thank you very much for watching.